I don't know whether you've heard, but obviously now we've got the new website up and functioning, which is really cool. It looks great. So much easier to navigate and get around. Had some really good feedback on that. And we've been waiting for a long time in the UK to get our full membership of the Direct Sales Association, the DSA. And that came through today as well. So we've had a really good day. And I think you have also, in the United States, got yourself a new vice president, I hear, right? Has joined the company to take over vice president of North America. Do you know about that? You're looking a bit vague. Oh boy. Okay, well, you have a new man there who's joined the company to look after the USA. So lots of things happening.
They forgot to tell us.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you.
Minor details.
It's gone out on an email. Check your emails. And now we've got the website up for the new website. We're going to be following up that pretty quickly with the all the materials we need for Portugal. So I'm hoping that by the end of this month, earliest first week of July, we should have Portugal up and running. That's the plan. So it kind of pushes things forward really well. I know Tom Aldershaw there, you've been doing a lot of work around the sports industry, Tom, and finding footballers with Portuguese connections. That's all very exciting stuff. So we're working on that. And, you know, now is really a good time as we go into the summer in Europe. You know, it's sort of starting to warm up all around, which is great news. Last Saturday, I had our first live meeting in London at Heathrow Airport, and I was joined there by a whole group from Latin America, which was fun. We had Colombians and Bolivians and Spanish and one Brit. So that was a great start. And as a result of that, we've decided to hold another meeting in Spanish on Saturday, the 10th of July. And that's going to be in London, in central London, right in the middle in a place called Paddington, which is dead center of the city. So very easy to get to, lots of transport there. Any Latin speaking, Spanish speaking friends you have, I'd encourage you to get them to know about that date, and the details will follow shortly. So this evening, what I was planning to do is really to recap on what's been happening here in Europe, because last week we had Aurelio, the Vice President of Europe, on the call, and he touched on some of the developments. And I really would like to really go back over those things again for the benefit of new people that may be on the call this evening, and obviously just to refresh your thinking as to, you know, really what the focus needs to be with regards to Europe. So I'm going to share my screen, if I may, and let's see if I can remember how to do that. I think it's, well, I'm going to show you that one first. So that's the notification we got today about Sharif Saeed in Spanish there, who has joined the company. Right now, he's being introduced there by Mauricio as joining the company as the new Vice President of North America. So Sharif Saeed, watch out for this guy. He's going to be helping the North American team as we go forward. Let me just see if I can find the one I wanted to show you.
A little tree growing on the rooftop. Oh, I said no. I said no.
Somebody sharing there. Let me see if we can just stop that mute there. Somebody we need to mute. Sorry.
The iPhone.
Hey, am I muted?
We don't have so much feedback then. Let's open that screen up. There we go.
Are you iPhone?
There.
There we are. that's the one I want to share. And so we also have share the sound. Have to remember to share the sound. Okay. So you can all see the slideshow, I hope. How's that?
It's good.
It's good? Great. Okay. So for those of you who have seen it, bear with me. If those of you haven't, let's go through this step by step so you're all familiar with what's going to take place. So that's me in a smart suit. I'm now wearing my England polo shirt today, so less formal. But you know, my role, as you may well know by now, is to support all of your activities here in Europe. And you know, it's starting to really work. I only joined, as you know, last July. And you know, there's a great support from you guys in terms of what we're trying to achieve in the UK. It's working. We're actually building on our base that I took over last July. We've got more connections now. We've got more activity, particularly in terms of people understanding what they need to do in terms of getting themselves prepared for Europe. Now, this is really important because if you're not, if you don't have any other languages other than English, it's important that you understand the methodology that we use in order to break into those new markets. Now, you might say, well, I don't speak German, I don't speak Italian, I don't speak French, I don't speak Portuguese, I don't speak Spanish. It makes absolutely no difference, I promise you, because over my career, I've built international teams without speaking any of those languages. And the key to this is actually working in your own communities with expats living in your vicinity. And Facebook is the key to this. You will find groups of Germans, French, Dutch, English, Italian, Spanish, living around in your communities, working in hospitality, in restaurants, in gift shops, in, well, mostly hospitality, let's face it. They're to do with tourism and really wherever they're needed to share their experience. And they all speak English because they're living in those communities. So it's reaching out to them and just finding the right people to help you build. Now, this is just a recap because the figures last year have still not been published. So we have to go back to 2019 when it was showing us that the wellness industry globally is worth nearly $1 trillion. Now that includes beauty, personal care, anti-aging products and services. And it said it was expected to accelerate by 70% during the next 5 years. And I've got a good feeling that that's in fact increased. That figure will come out higher because we're seeing a lot more people joining our industry. We're seeing a lot more people concerned about the anti-aging and personal care, beauty, and obviously their health, you know, in terms of looking after their immune system because of COVID. So this is very, very relevant. And if you're talking to business people, this is an important fact that you could certainly share with them. Now, as you know, we're currently in 11 countries, the most recent being Ecuador last year. And as you're going to hear in a minute or two, we're about to expand our operations more into Europe. But this is a little message that we've got here from our founder, our current CEO, beg your pardon, Mauricio. Let's just hear from him.
First of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk to you today. I am Mauricio Domenzain, the CEO of Immunotech, and you're probably wondering why Immunotech? Who is Immunotech? We're currently in 10 countries with plans to expand into new markets. Immunotech is in the top 100 direct selling companies in the world and is growing rapidly. Our goal is to be ranked in the top 50, not to be the biggest, but to be the best. To offer a genuine opportunity to touch as many lives as we can, which so far is over 2 million. Immunocal, our flagship product, is backed by over 40 years of scientific research and has been sold for over 20 years. every month, we sell over 5 million servings of Immunicol. Immunicol is the most important supplement that you will ever use, as it raises glutathione, your body's master antioxidant, and makes you stronger, smarter, and healthier. Immunicol is a great product. In Immunotech, you have the opportunity of sharing the products that you love. And when you do so, you have an opportunity to earn an extra income. And some have been able to enjoy nice quality of life from generous commissions of our compensation plan. You can sign up as a customer, but the best way to get the products and experience the benefit of Immunicol is to sign up as a consultant. Whether you have big goals or you are here to make an extra income, Immunotech is here to help. When you join Immunotech, you became part of the Immunotech family. There's going to be a great leadership team to help you. Get ready to be celebrated as we travel the world together to recognize your achievements. We believe in the power of people and the power of your potential. Every small victory matters, and we will celebrate you every step of the way. Living better is our DNA, and we are excited for you to join us in this journey of living better. I am Mauricio Domenzain, and I am Immunotech. First of all, thank you for giving.
So I wanted to introduce Mauricio to you if you've not seen him before, because he is responsible for really taking things forward this last couple of years. You see, back in 2018, when he joined us as CEO, we were ranked 98 in the world of direct sales organization in the top 100, with about $102 million in turnover. And since then, up till last year, 2020, we've risen to position 45 in that top 50, which was his goal. He said in the tape there, he wanted to get into top 50. Well, he achieved that last year, and with a turnover of more than double what he came into in 2018. So clearly, you know, under his leadership, we've expanded our corporate team, we've expanded our marketing, we've revamped our website. We're actually now going into more countries. And, you know, I have to say to you guys, if you're not inviting new people onto these calls each week, you're missing out, because these calls are designed for your guests, for your new people to listen in and to understand what this opportunity is about. I know you know it very well, and that's great, but you need to let them share this opportunity every Wednesday here in the UK and let people see what's going on. I'm going to record it as always. So if you didn't get to see the whole thing, or you want to share it with some others, I'll let you have a link, okay? So let's move things forward. These are some of the big facts you need to know. Get familiar with these statistics, because over 40 years of research and more than 26 years now that Immunotech has been trading as a direct sales company, we have over 300 million servings of products sold during that period. Currently, over 5 million servings a month are going out there. Look at the figures: 25 million invested in research, and over 70, well, so currently 78 world patents that we've brought in to the efficacy of the product, not just the name of it, but how it actually performs. This is very, very unusual. You know, my experience in 37 years in this industry, to have these kind of stats, to share the efficacy of the product and its effectiveness in actually helping with many, many health conditions, particularly for those people as they go through later part of their lives. And we're going to go through some specifics this evening, because I think it's important that you know. The company's founded on 5 solid pillars that we build on. First of all, you know, happiness is really important, because this is not just a job. This is a lifestyle, you know, and we have a lot of fun with what we do in helping people to gain extra income and help people to change the quality of their lives. And that's something of an issue of integrity. The second pillar that we have there, integrity, because we've been going a long time. You know, people can check the statistics of the company, our values, and what we stand for. In terms of the third one is science. And again, there is not one company in the direct sales industry that can touch anywhere close to the scientific proof and peer reviewed science that we have on our product. Celebration, well, that's something we do for fun, and we get together every year, and we get together on an international level. And this year we're going to be in Miami in November for a very, very big celebration down there. Family, this is also what unites us, and it's the importance of the support that you get when you join our organization. So it's not just a job, as I say, you're part of a team, you're part of a family that is willing to support you and help you in a way that is very unusual in most business practices. Why? Well, there's two reasons. One is that the kind of people we have are really nice people and they like to support each other. And two is there's a financial interest in there as well in making sure that you and your team are successful, because if you're successful, we're all successful. And that's the key to this. So let's talk a little bit about some of the statistics in terms of the product and what it does. It was actually developed back some 40 years ago by two very clever scientists, a lady called Dr. Patricia Conshaven, who had a space in the research department of McGill University in Canada. And if you don't know McGill University, it's the equivalent of Harvard in America. It's the Canadian version. And her colleague, Dr. Gustavo Bunas, started the original research that led to the product we call Immunical today. Okay, so what's so important here? I mean, if you start to really understand what keeps us well, you'll understand and start to research this strange element that we produce in our bodies called glutathione. Glutathione is a natural occurring enzyme in our bodies that's produced mostly in the liver, and it's where our body starts to detoxify itself. It works as an antioxidant. It works to build our immune system. And it works on three elements that support that, which is called, they're called tripeptides. It's glycine, glutamate, and cysteine. And cysteine is the most important one. It's a very, very delicate part of the three units that make up the glutathione basis of science. And cysteine is very delicate in as much as that it comes from our food supply, but very often it's destroyed by the acidity of our stomach. So we have created a product that basically protects the cysteine through a process of science, and puts it in an envelope so it's actually protected and gets to produce glutathione in a more efficient way than probably any other supplement that's on the market. And that's the part that causes us to have the patents that we have, okay? And there's a lot of research on this which you need to spend some time getting to understand. But in a nutshell, it works like this. It helps to maintain a strong immune system. It helps increase muscle strength and energy combined with regular exercise. And we're going to touch on that in terms of how it helps sports professionals, particularly in terms of increase in energy and physical performance. So the main one we have, the first product that I'd like to talk about is called Immunical, and it is a source of essential amino acids. It helps to repair body tissues. It helps to create antibodies. It helps to increase muscle strength, improve performance, and basically strengthens our immune system. So all of these factors are so important right now in terms of preventative situation against some of the nasty viruses that are around right now. If your immune system is strong, you've got a better chance of fending off any invasive viruses. So the second product that came along was with further research a few years later, and it was based around research that was done by a gentleman from Dr. Rogue from Germany, who'd worked in the Cancer Institute in Germany, and his skills in tweaking the product by adding certain minerals, magnesium, sodium, potassium, to increase the product's ability to work with the nervous system and the psychological function of, the physiological reduction of reducing fatigue or tiredness and helping with bones and muscles. Now, this product is usually associated with people 30, 35 years old and over, and it's really helping to protect your body as it ages. So we may grow older in years, but we don't necessarily grow older in our physical abilities if we look after our bodies and giving it the essential nutrients it needs. Now, all of this is backed up by scientific research articles by world-class doctors and scientists, and you'll find it's cited in respected sources of information such as the Physician's Desk Reference, the PDR, and the CPS, which you can find online. Also with the PubMed, it's called pubmed.org. You'll find references to Immunical and its effectiveness in various different conditions. Now, we have Dr. Jimmy Gutman, who's our Chief Scientific Officer and probably the world's most renowned expert on glutathione. He's published several books on the subject. I encourage you to research that. You can get them on Amazon, and it explains glutathione, and it explains Immunical and its ability to affect the production of glutathione in our bodies. Now, we're moving on to sports, and this is an interesting slide because it talks about an organization called Oreco. And if you've not heard of Oreco, I encourage you to check them out on the internet. They're oreco.com, easy to find. They're based in Ireland, and they are specialists in biomarkers for analyzing the blood of elite athletes, working with the Olympic teams, with First Division, Premier League football clubs, soccer teams, National Basketball Association, very high-end organization, very, very clever scientists and doctors that have used our product in partnership with us for more than 12 years now. And they are, by the Informed Sports, regularly tested every batch to make sure that there's nothing there that's going to cause any problems with banned substances for competitive athletes. And that's an assurance that all athletes need to see. Now, when it comes to sports, we pretty much cover all of them. And we had a number of athletes in the 2012 Olympics in London that were taking these. We currently have 3 soccer teams in the UK, Chelsea Football Club, Premier League Division, Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs, and Nottingham Forest. Those players are all tied to Oreco in terms of their analysis, and many of their players are, well, using the product. And if you follow soccer in the UK, you'll know that they're doing very, very well, those teams right now. So it must say something for us. So let's talk a little bit about another product that we brought out just the last year or two called Booster. There's a little video on this. Let's watch that.
Boost your energy. Improve your focus. Optimize your day. With Immunical Booster, energy and performance with our proprietary blend of components. Leave the quick burst and hard crash you get from most energy drinks. Go for rapid and sustained energy. Our blend of 3 natural caffeines, green tea, green coffee, and guarana kicks in after 15 minutes and lasts for up to 6 hours. Formulated with sulforaphane from broccoli seed extract, scientifically proven for its antioxidant effect, as well as vitamin C and selenium. With the Energy Booster, all your antioxidants, including glutathione, will work better, and it's perfect with Immunical. With the booster, Immunical works harder and lasts longer for optimised glutathione that contributes to the normal function of the immune system. Boost your day with our healthy formula for energy and focus. Immunical Booster. Exclusively from Immunotech, the science of living better.
So yeah, Booster is really works in a very synergistic way with Immunical. As it says in the video, it improves the performance of the product by adding in the broccoli seed, which is really, really important in terms of how it interacts with the Immunical. So it really makes optimize the antioxidants ability, and in terms of how you feel with it, it uses 3 different caffeines, as she mentioned there: green tea, green coffee bean, and guarana seed. And instead of getting that sort of rush that you get with sports energy drinks, this is very mellow, but it keeps your energy levels up throughout the day. Personally, I tend to take it in the morning, and it keeps my energy levels up all the day. I wouldn't suggest taking it after maybe 6 in the evening, because you may be up all night. But unless you're partying, you know, then maybe you want some. So moving forward, let's take a look at the opportunity that comes with this. I mean, clearly with a product like this, with the history it's got, with the scientific value, there is a great business opportunity. And as you heard earlier, we achieved over $220 million in sales last year. So let's see how you can take advantage of that. First of all, just to recap on the company, we talked about Mauricio there, his desire to create the family attitude with the company, the patents we have on our product, and the fact that we are very healthy financially, with a Dun & Bradstreet rating, a AAA double Dun & Bradstreet rating, which is the highest they give. And as we positioned ourselves currently at number 45 in the top 100 direct sales companies worldwide. So what do you need to do? When you bring new customers to Immunotech, you're basically paid for the products that they purchase. And as they keep ordering, you keep earning. It's pretty simple. You join as a partner. We're going to show you how that works in a minute or two. And first of all, we want you to enjoy the products every day to get the experience of how you feel by using them. I would say, you know, the first 90 days are the most important. So get some product, take it every single morning for at least 90 days, and you'll start to feel some of the things that we've talked about. Energy levels, recovery from exercise is faster, your immune system will be better protected. You generally feel a lot more energetic in your day-to-day living. Then once you're happy with yourself and you feel that you're confident enough to talk about it, it's about time to share that information with people around you. Start with family and friends, maybe co-workers, people you know, and just tell them the experience you've had with the product and encourage them to try it out. Now, every time somebody takes the product, they have the first 30 days is guaranteed. So that means they could try the products for a whole month. If they're not happy, they get a full refund. So with that confident, that's not coming out of your pocket, that comes out the company. So they return the product or send a letter saying not happy, and they get a full refund. I think currently we have 0.01% returned. I mean, it's very, very low. Very, very few people are dissatisfied. So having got that process going, work with your customers, encourage them to give you feedback about their experience, and encourage them to share their experiences with others. And with your help, you'll start to build a customer base and start to build a team. Now, here's some of the prices for the UK. We won't go into any great detail, but other than to say that you can make between 5 to 30% profit on every product sold. Now, when we say sold, you're not really selling anything. All you're doing is promoting your website, much like Amazon. People go to your website, They order product from your shop and you get paid when that product's delivered. So you're not physically handling or shipping product yourself. We take care of all of that for you in 11 countries. So it doesn't matter if you have a customer in Peru or Canada or the States or England or Spain, we'll take care of the shipping, all the paperwork. All you have to do is make the introduction. And as you can see, you can make up to 47% in commissions on every product sold. Let's go into that in a little bit more detail. So to register as a consultant with us is slightly different from being a customer. Customers simply order directly online, but consultants have more benefits. Basically, in the UK, you pay a fee of £24. That's for the year, and you receive a very smart folder with a lot of information here. You can see in terms of what you need to do, what you need to understand about the compensation plan and how the business works. Now, with the guidance of your enroller, your sponsor, you'll receive this pack in the post, and they will take you through it step by step as what to do. The other thing that happens is that you will have your own website address, which is part of our big corporate back office, as we call it. So it'll be immunotech.com with your name or number as you choose as a / after that. And that's the way you go into your back office to see what's happening in terms of how many orders have gone through your group, in which countries, how your organization is growing, how you can enroll new people. I mean, there's a lot of information. Don't worry about it right now. It's a very simple step-by-step process, and there's a lot of information and resources there for you to draw upon once you've registered. So getting started in the UK, we give you some extra discount to encourage you to get started. And we do what we call a consultant starter pack, and that costs £199. It gives you 2 boxes of Immunocal and a box of Platinum and a little shaker cup that you'll need to mix the product up. Now that's a saving of £131 off retail. And then a few days later, after your initial 7 days of joining, you can then expand that and put in for Consultant Success Formula Pack, which gives you the Business Builder box. And in there you get 3 extra boxes of Immunocal and 2 of Platinum and 3 more cups. So this is the opportunity, once you've got started on the product yourself, to have sufficient to share and to give samples out as you would in any conventional business. But clearly the costs are much, much less, as you don't have any overheads or staff or shipping costs to worry about. That's all taken care of for you. So you see each product has a point value, and this is important. You'll see it says there, Venture Starter Pack 1,200 PV. So PV is point value, and that's basically how we work things internationally. So whether you're working in dollars, in pesos, in euros, in sterling, it really makes no difference. The point value is the same, and that's how we can calculate all the different commissions wherever you are in the world. Okay, so this is going to give you really good value in terms of getting yourself started, prepared with some product that you can actually start to build your business. Okay, so there are 7 areas of income in our compensation plan. 1, 2, and 3 all relate to customers, and we've talked a little bit about that. You're receiving between 5 to 30% on your customers' orders, and they're ordering direct online from your shop. As I mentioned, you're not actually touching product yourself in that respect. The second 4 are business builder bonus, team commissions, moving up accelerated bonuses, and your sponsoring moving up bonuses as well. Now let's take a look at those last 4 and explain them through. When you're building your business, most people want to understand what they're actually going to be earning from the get-go. So we looked across all the different countries we work in, and we can see an average. I've worked it out here in pound sterling, but it's pretty much the same in dollars. It's usually around $300 to $500 or so for the majority of people that get started in their first 90 days. If you want to work a little harder and continue to build your team and customer base, then that can extend up to 3,000 to 5,000 or more per month. And you're looking at the next 3 to 6 months forward to get to those figures. It's like building a business in any way, but you just don't have the big overheads to worry about. Now, for those people that really establish themselves and build international teams, then it gets much, much more interesting. You'll see that we have 5% of our organization globally, and we've got sort of 500,000 distributors now, are earning between 30 to 50,000 a month or more. Now that takes work, and that takes effort. It takes structure, but it is definitely achievable, and it's being done. It's not just theoretical. So this is how it works. Having got started, the first 2 months, we set you a goal of achieving what we call silver rank, and you'll do that with the help of your introducer, your enroller, your sponsor. They'll show you how to maximize that so you pick up that extra £250 bonuses in the first 2 months. Now, once you're on that roll, it's a question of duplication, helping your team to achieve silver rank as well. And that will help you to prepare you up to the next rank we call gold. If you achieve that in 4 months, there's another £700 in bonuses for you. And again, now you've got the rhythm going, helping your silvers, helping your golds will take you up to the next level of diamond, another £3,500 in bonuses on top of your main commissions just for achieving that rank. Again, it's a question of keeping your organization moving, more people coming to silver, more people qualifying to gold, up to diamond. That takes you to executive diamond, and another £13,000 in bonuses you can achieve in your first 12 months. Now, the top position is platinum leader. Again, this is simply a process of duplicating the silvers, the golds, the diamonds, the executive diamonds to get yourself up there. Now, in that first 2 years, you're going to become very proficient in understanding how to structure your organization, how to work, and how to deliver this. And it's realistic because we do have people collectively earning in excess of £80,000 a year within their organization, and many are doing a lot more than that, I can tell you. But we have to be kind of sensible and talk about averages. But this is certainly something that can replace a full-time income. If you're retired or semi-retired and you're looking for something really interesting to get into, if you're a people person and you like working with others and you like traveling, this is a really wonderful business to be involved in. And literally within 3 to 5 years, you can be having a passive residual income that can last many years into retirement, and something you can bequeath onto your family. So the other day we were talking about what's happening in Europe. So I just want to focus a little bit about the UK, Ireland and Spain, because traditionally these have been the countries that have helped North America and Canadian distributors springboard into other parts of Europe. Now, we've already got a lot of Latinos in the organization, a lot of Spanish-speaking people that you can work with that speak English as well in Canada and the United States, Mexico, and other parts of South America. So I'd encourage you to reach out to them, ask them who they know in Europe, in Spain, in England, in Ireland. We've got Colombian distributors in the UK and in Ireland, that's for sure. We have Mexican distributors in Brighton in England. So, it's not that this is fantasy, it's actually happening right now. Now that's going to take us into other countries in Europe, starting out with Portugal, which is coming in during the next few weeks, we're expecting an announcement that during July, Portugal will be open for business. As I mentioned before, it's a question of reaching out to Portuguese in your community that have maybe import businesses in Canada and the States, restaurant businesses, retail outlets. You know, there's many different language coaches. You're going to find them. If you go online, if you go on Facebook, you'll find them. And you only need one or two, really, that are going to help you to open up into Portugal. We hope July is the date we're expecting. So that will be for distributors and customers. What that means is in your back office, you can register them in Portugal. Their product will be shipped to them from our warehouses in Spain, just across the border. And currently, we have a number of Spanish distributors that have Portuguese registered on their home addresses in Spain, and they're shipping product to them already ahead of this. So, you know, don't delay. This is the time to take action, really. Next up, we have France. France, Germany, and Italy will follow. We may see one of those countries coming in at the back end of this year. We're expecting certainly to have all three on by early part of 2022. So again, this is not long. We're talking months, not years away, and it takes time to establish those people, for them to understand what they're doing, to translate the information that we're going to be providing them, and to get their teams going. There is a German support group already. There's a French support group already because of Canada. The Italians, well, they're all over North America, aren't they? If you ever watch The Sopranos, you'll know what I mean. So get into New York, that's what I would say. So, you know, welcome to the team. We're really excited to have you as new guests looking at what we're doing. As I've explained, this Wednesday meeting I hold every Wednesday in the UK at this time. It's 7:30 in the UK British time right now. Well, no, it isn't. It's 8:10 right now, but I start it always at 7:30. And it's a chance now for us to basically talk to each other. If there's any feedback you'd like to give, any questions you have for me or any of the team on board, please just open up your mic and let's talk about it, because this is the forum we want to share and really get clear about.
Oops.
Anybody? Silence. Must have done something right, I guess. Okay, so Dean, thank you, sir. So listen, the next meeting we have coming up is going to be on Saturday, the 10th of July in Paddington, which is central London. I'm going to be posting some details about that during the next week or so that you've all got that information. Paddington, if you don't know London well, is right in the middle. John Solider, you're on board tonight. You remember Paddington, I'm sure, don't you?
I sure do.
Yes, yep. You do. We're at the Novotel Hotel, really central. Everybody can get there on tubes and buses and trains. Probably best to leave your car behind. Just take the easy route in on the Saturday morning. We're actually going to start just after lunch at 1 o'clock, so everybody can have a lie-in. You know, we're so nice here. You know, we think of you. We think of you. We want you to relax and enjoy. Okay, have your extra dose of Immunocal in the morning and get there fresh as spring. We've got some good weather here now, Keith. You'll be pleased to hear. We've got your California sunshine over here.
It's supposed to be 101 today and 107 tomorrow.
Woo!
So,
wow. Well, we're not that hot yet, but we're getting there.
And then my friends in Phoenix are looking at 119.
Whoa!
So I'll have them send you some of that.
So come on, let's have a weather report. Dean, what's the weather like where you are?
Right now it's sunny and about 75 degrees out.
There you go. And Alejandro, down in Mexico, what's happening down there?
It's sunny, beautiful as always. It was raining. It was raining last weekend, but today is wonderful. I think we are like 30 degrees centigrade degrees, around 30, 32.
Fantastic. And Dr. Barry White, you're my first, my last, my everything.
We're sunny and 61.
Sunny and 61. I love it. Have we got any Brits on tonight? Let's see. Have we got any Brits?
Jeffrey was on there a minute ago.
Jeffrey's there. He's down the south coast. Where's he gone?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
I'm here. Hi.
There you go.
Yeah, we've got rain and about 23 degrees. But
rain.
Rain.
Oh,
rain.
No.
It's been sunny all day, but then the rain's come in and it's 23 degrees and it's actually quite lovely. With the light off the ocean. It's really spectacular, actually. Yeah, we're in for a bit of a wet spell for about 3 or 4 days, but that hot weather was fantastic. Thank you.
Good. Well, we've had a few good days. That's right. So I'm really pleased with. It's a good chance for you all to hear from each other. Patricia, Kailash, there, you gave us a beautiful story last Wednesday. Really appreciate that. How's things for you there today, Patricia?
We've got 22 degrees Celsius and high winds of 70 kilometers an hour, which is really windy for us. But we also had the wind yesterday, and it was like a blast furnace in the 34 degrees Celsius wind. But today is a lot nicer with a 22 Celsius.
God, I love it. Lovely. The world weather reports around the world, isn't it fantastic? So, John, do you have some information you'd like to share with us this evening, John?
Yeah, I think everybody here is already involved in the business. So I just want to point out, we're doing these weekly podcasts, and they are generic. But the next 4 weeks, starting yesterday, which you can still listen to, on Leaving Nothing to Chance, I'm interviewing a guy named Ron Henley. And what the significance of Ron is Ron is the curator of the Network Marketing Historical Society, which is located in Atlanta, Georgia. Ron is the leading authority in the world on the history of network marketing. So if you go back and you listen to yesterday's interview, which is on Leaving Nothing to Chance, you can hear what we talked about. Some names that I wasn't familiar with, some companies that I wasn't familiar with. It's interesting because if you're going to be in network marketing, you want to know the history. You don't have to become an expert in it. I'm not, I don't really care to be, but I do want to understand where things came from and why things have evolved to where the industry is today. For example, and this came of, there's 4 interviews. Let me go through the 4 interviews real quick. Next week will be the second interview, kind of 1968 till about 1980 on the industry with Ron. The following week will be with one of 2 icons in the industry, my own mentor, good friend, Larry Thompson. Ron and I spent some time with Larry, visiting with him. We talked an hour and 40 minutes, by the way, and it felt like 10 minutes. And we could have gone another 2 hours, but I was like, I have no idea how long these podcasts can last. So I had to cut it off. And so that'll be the following week, which is June 29th. And then the following week, I interviewed, along with Ron, a gentleman by the name, and this is a real name, by the way, Ben Gay III. Scott, I don't know, in England, you guys have Ben Gay, the ointment when you like hurt a bone or something?
Not that I'm aware of. We have different gays here, but not Ben.
Well, Ben Gay it's a topical ointment. Like, you hurt your arm or something, you rub this ointment on. So it's a very funny name because he's got the same name. So he's Ben Gay III. But Ben worked with Zig Ziglar. He worked with J. Douglas Edwards. If you're not familiar with that name, J. Douglas Edwards is considered to be the godfather of modern selling. He worked with William Penn Patrick, who was the founder of a company called Holiday Magic, very, very significant company in our industry. When Ben ran it, it got up to $3.5 billion in sales annually, bigger than any network marketing company besides Amway, Nu Skin, or Herbalife today. This was in 1968, by the way. When you say, what happened? How does a company get to $3.5 billion and no longer is in business? Well, I'll tell you what, the owner decided, William Penpatrick, he decided that he wanted somebody who could double those sales and lie, cheat, and steal to do it. And that wasn't Ben, so he resigned. However, before he resigned, the last 2 years of Dr. Napoleon Hill's life, Dr. Hill was hired to basically be his mentor because he was so young. When he took over the company, he was only 25. So Dr. Hill was his mentor. And I asked him, one of the many questions I asked Ben in an 1.5-hour interview was, what were the three most important things you learned from Hill? And if you're a fan of Think and Grow Rich, or you're a fan of Napoleon Hill, or you've read any of Napoleon Hill's other works, okay, these 3 things are very, very important to any of us. Number 1, integrity in all things that you do. Number 2, focus in all things that you do. And number 3, take action. That's great advice. Great advice in 1968 from Dr. Hill, great advice in 2021 from Dr. Hill, talking to us from the grave. But that's the level of people that we've been interviewing lately. So you don't want to miss these interviews. And once again, you know, the other relevance is, because somebody asked me, well, what's the relevance of all this history? What do I care about it? Well, let me tell you, if you don't understand why we have to do some of the things that we have to do from a legal standpoint, in terms of how we present our income opportunities and how we also present our product opportunity, okay? The reason why some of these companies are no longer here was integrity issues. I'll give you one other one that came from the interview that I did with Ron that you'll hear next week. Neutral Bio. Neutral Bio was a company that in 1959 had their top distributors making $125,000 a month. That'd be pretty good money today. I don't know what that is in today's dollars, probably $1 million a month. Why did they disappear? Well, the 2 guys who, the company was owned by a doctor, I'm going to forget his name now. Yeah, okay, I'm going to forget the guy's name. It was a medical doctor who started the company. And he went on vacation with his wife he told the 2 guys running the company, I'll tell you who they were in a minute, okay? He told these 2 guys, listen, I'm going to go on vacation. If you guys can double sales while I'm away, I'm going to give you each 10% of the business when I get back. Well, the 2 guys that he commissioned to do that, one was a guy named Earl Shoaff. Raise your hand if you know who Earl Shoaff was. Scott, who was Earl Shoaff?
He was Jim Rohn's mentor.
He was Jim Rohn's mentor, okay? And Rich Schockenberg. Now, Rich Schockenberg, you may not have heard of, but Rich Schockenberg was the guy that created the network marketing industry. He was the brain. He was the guy that wrote the compensation plans and created the business model as we know it today back in the 1940s, believe it or not. So those 2 guys were together running the business. And guess what happened? The doctor went off on vacation. Dr. Jones, that was his name. Dr. Jones goes off on vacation with his wife, comes back about a year later. Well, these guys didn't double sales. Guess what they did? They tripled sales. And they brought in some pretty good distributors. A guy named Jim Rohn was sponsored into that company by a guy named Earl Shoaff. A guy named Les Brown was sponsored into that company. A guy named Zig Ziglar was sponsored into that company. If you don't know who these guys are, by the way, do some research. You'll find out who they are and their relevance, not only to our industry, but the profession of selling. Anyhow, you had an all-star, and there were others, by the way. That's just 3 off the top of my head. They had a superstar team. But because integrity, Dr. Hill's notes here, the man lied to the 2 guys running the company. They did what he asked them to do, but they didn't do it double. He did it triple. And he came back and he basically said, fellas, I'm not giving you anything. You get your commission check. And then what did they do? They left. Because that's what people do, okay? That company was actually called Abunda Vita, by the way. Abunda Vita was the company that Dr. Jones owned, that those guys were all in. They eventually morphed into NutriBio. So the names you might confuse like I am right now. What's important is the stories about keeping your word. What comes out of these interviews when I listen to them and do them with Ron and with others, the companies who have kept their word to their distributors and the distributors who have acted out of integrity to their distributors, that means Somebody asks you to be on a three-way call, as long as you can do it, you do it. Somebody asks you to do something for them that's reasonable, you do it, okay? And that the company does its job as well. The companies who have done that are called Amway, Herbalife, Nu Skin, Melaleuca, Shackley, A.L. Williams, and there's a handful of others. Hundreds didn't. The ones who did are still here today, so in some cases 40, 50, 60 years after they began. What did that mean to their distributors to help build those companies? It means they still have an income today, or their kids or their grandkids do. Immunotech, from day one, we have kept product integrity. Day one. Didn't matter who owned the company, didn't matter who ran the company. We've never allowed ridiculous health claims. We've never allowed people to exaggerate the truth about what our product does. If they do, we address it. And you might say, well, I think I'd love to get on Facebook and say what the product, you know, because Aunt Tilly took it and she got this great result. You can't do that, folks. You jeopardize my income. You jeopardize your income. You jeopardize Mauricio's income. Don't do that. Because the truth about Immunical is so unbelievably strong with the evidence-based science of 46 years, you don't need to exaggerate. And if those old companies taught us anything else, it was by exaggerating. You invite the Food and Drug Administration or other people into our lives that we don't want in our lives. We want to be one of the good kids on the block. We don't want to hear about Immunotech. Those people tell the truth over there. We don't need to worry about them. We'll go after the people who aren't telling the truth, okay, and exaggerating what their products do. We'll bother them and knock on their door instead of our door, for example. Same thing with our business opportunity. Scott just ran through our pay plan. I'm a senior platinum in the company, okay? Make a great income, tremendous income. Matter of fact, I had to pay the IRS yesterday 6 figures of my income, okay? So I had a pretty good year. This business works, but that doesn't mean everybody that's in it's gonna have the same results, because some of it's based on effort, some of it's based on time, some of it's based on how many hours of the day that you want to devote to your Immunotech business, okay? So not everybody's gonna have the same result. So don't exaggerate the income opportunity. It is what it is. We pay out 47 cents. If we take in $1, 47 cents comes back to us collectively as a field. That's pretty good. It's almost half. Some months it is half. Some months the plan runs a little bit, you know, more than 47%, but the calculation's 47. So you don't need to tell somebody it pays 75, because it doesn't. The truth is good enough to create lots of great income stories around the world. The product, we know the product is amazing. We know we'd love to tell people all the crazy stories that we hear, but don't. Keep within the truth of the parameters that the company allows us to do. And we will be one of those companies I just mentioned 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road. Maybe we won't be here. Maybe we won't be here, but our kids will inherit a business. Scott used some tremendous language a few minutes ago about you can bequeath this to your family. This is a family business. I'm preparing my son to take over here in 5 years, okay? And he has to do a lot of work between, it's not just this business, we own some other non-network marketing businesses, but you know, he's got to do the work, and he's going to inherit a business that's going to pay him a lot of money, okay? But he's got to do the work to be ready to step into those shoes and do what he needs to do, follow? Your kids could be the same way, maybe your grandkids could be the same way. Okay, that's why history is important, folks, right? Goes back to that great statement, and Scott, I'm not sure who made it. Maybe you know, or somebody else on the call may know that great statement. You know, history, why do we know history? So we don't repeat the mistakes of others, right? I don't remember who said that, but anyway, that's why I just want to encourage you guys in closing. Listen to these podcasts. They're priceless. They'll teach you stuff you don't know. They're free, most importantly. Share them with your downline, okay? That last one, by the way, which on July 5th with Ben Gay III, he's considered to be the last living protege of Dr. Napoleon Hill. So I just feel blessed that I even had an opportunity to meet him and interview him and spend some time with him. He's a character, by the way. He's very, very funny. But anyway, you'll hear that for yourself. But anyway, back to you, Scott. Thank you. Thanks,
John, thank you. Brilliant. And we do love the podcast. I appreciate what you're doing there. There's a library coming together now. I listen to them on Spotify, and there's some really good stuff there, as you say, well worth digging into. But I want to close by saying thank you to all of you that have come on tonight. I really want to encourage you just to bring one new guest with you next week. okay, because we've got 19 people on the call. We could basically double that if everybody brings one person to hear what's going on in Europe. You could tell them that they get a sort of chance to get a free vacation in Spain sometime in the future. Whatever you need to tell them to get on the call. A free glass of port wine. We've got some German sausages coming in. We've got some great Italian pizza and pasta. You know, we've got some French wines. All these beautiful things we have in Europe. Very authentic flavors, and we need to get our European teams building. So please commit for me to bring one new guest each next week. Even if you have to drag them screaming and kicking to the call, I'd appreciate it a lot. So thanks once again, guys. I have recorded it. I will send you copies of this if you want it. I appreciate you all. God bless you, and see you next week. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Scott.
Pleasure.